Hello, hello. Happy holidays. Welcome back to Overly Conversating on the Black Print Network. I am J5. I'm here with my pal, Mark MC.
It's been a couple of days. What's going on?
It's been a couple of days. Been a holiday.
Yeah.
It's been quite a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving's passed. We are fully into holiday season. Holiday season! Hey!
Top 5 drop.
And we are here back with you guys again. Thank you guys for listening to the last episode. We got such a positive reception.
Yeah, man.
Last episode.
Yeah.
You know, we appreciate that. We're just trying to make this shit fun again. Quick update. We are recording future Monster Throwblacks very soon.
Getting it out early. Okay. I thought we were going to ease in.
Nah, we're not easing in. I got to
okay.
update people on what's going on. We're going to do that. And then we're also going to have Christmas song rankings.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do it this time because you haven't heard any of them. I got to make a list of Christmas songs.
I've heard Christmas songs.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
The thing is, I want to do movies, but you ain't never seen shit.
I have.
What you seen?
Friday After Next is a Christmas movie.
See, you're already fucking up. Have you seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Like the old, like the original joint from like the 40s? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I did.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
I've seen that. I swear to God, I've seen it. I promise.
Charlie Brown Christmas, Bad Santa.
I've seen Bad Santa.
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way was with
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
I have not.
All right, see that? Motherfucking... That's mad Christmas movies, bro.
You know what I was just thinking of the other day?
Die Hard?
Yes, I've seen Die Hard. Not the entire Die Hard.
We're not asking for that. We're just saying the first Die Hard.
The first one is the one that counts as a Christmas movie. No,
because on this show, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Okay. Thank you.
I think that's well accepted now. It was a controversial take like 5 years ago.
A lot of people still off it.
Still trying to fight it.
I remember my first year here in LA. I went to the New Beverly to see Die Hard, and that's Quentin Tarantino's theater.
I didn't know that.
And that's all it was out off La Brea.
Yeah.
The New Beverly. They played like, you've never been there? We should go.
The Beverly Center or
the New Beverly.
Oh, no, never.
It's a theater that Quentin Tarantino bought and he restored. It's an old theater that was about to go out of business and he bought it and restored it.
I didn't know that.
And it plays his movies every weekend, but it also plays other movies too.
So I can just pop up next week and just watch Kill Bill.
If it's playing, yeah. It's playing. And they're all in 35 millimeter, like straight up film type shit, right?
Okay.
I saw Die Hard. It was me and Eric. It was on Christmas Eve. And to the left of us is Quentin Tarantino. They are watching the movie, having a fucking blast.
Dying at his own shit?
No, Die Hard. He didn't make Die Hard.
He was playing Die Hard. I forgot. I thought it was one of his own movies I was playing. He's laughing at his own shit.
I don't think he's never there. I don't think he's ever there when he's playing his movies. But it was Die Hard. He was just there. He was just chilling, laughing at all the jokes. Like he was laughing like it was the first time I ever seen it. He just had a fucking blast. That was one of my most distinct LA moments. Was being in Quentin Tarantino's theater and sitting next to Quentin Tarantino watching Die Hard. That was a cool moment.
And it was during the holiday?
It was in Christmas Eve.
You know what movie I'd like to watch that's holiday related on that theater? Kill Season.
Kill Season is not holiday related.
Kill Season is during the holidays.
No, it's not.
It was snowing around that time.
That was winter.
So it's the holidays.
And let's be clear. Killer Season was filmed in several different seasons. Like there's scenes where they're like outside with short sleeves on and shorts. Like Killer Season seems to take place throughout a 3-year span of things. We should do a throwblacks on Killer Season and just how crazy that movie was back in the day.
It's a Christmas movie, man. You got to put it on.
Christmas movie.
Killer Season's a Christmas movie. If we ask Cam will tell us Killer Season is a Christmas movie.
Where were the Christmas trees at? I mean, let's be clear. I haven't seen it in years. It is 2.5 hours.
Weren't there Christmas trees around the scene where they went to go kill the nigga and then they were they were throwing poppers up on the roof to try and make it sound like they were just playing with fireworks and they go shot it and then went to go shoot a nigga?
I don't remember it distinctly. Killer Season is a movie that I remember parts from, but the full movie is crazy. Okay, it's like 2.5 hours. I think it's as long as Wicked.
Feels like 10 minutes to me. Just flies by.
Does not fly the fuck by. There are so many fucking scenes in that movie where they're just doing nothing, and it's ridiculous. I don't even think you can like buy it anymore or like find it. I don't think it's on any streaming service.
No, it's only on YouTube, which I have found throughout the past couple of days while I was out on holiday and just watching movies and watching film. Ended up watching a really, really it feels like a really classic film for the first time that I just watched the other day. Hollywood Shuffle.
Robert Townsend. Oh yeah, that's a great movie. That's a great movie.
Really good. The LA experience in the 1980s is something that I like watching a lot, but just seeing it from an actor and an actress perspective, it literally felt like that was all of Black Hollywood that was available in the late 1980s, which was really fucking cool.
Yeah, and I mean, they do that again in like Harlem Nights. That was another moment that it felt like it was like every black person ever in one movie. I feel like Coming to America kind of had that vibe too, where just like every black actor was in that shit.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just Eddie Murphy playing 10 people, but it was the same thing. But again, holidays started. We're gonna do a ranking of the songs. Maybe we'll do the movies too. That'll be the next episode.
Telling you, I could stand up for a ranking. You know how well I did on the last ranking?
No, that was the number one most contentious part. It was people noticing that your brain was about to explode from just trying to rank Grand Theft Auto games.
I want to fix that also, by the way. I think I gave Grand Theft Auto 4 not enough love. I'm fixing it.
I think you gave it enough love. I think B is fine for it.
I think I had it C last time. I'm bringing it up to B just off the power of the radio stations. I completely mistook that.
I don't know. I don't know about that. And as I say that, the days have passed and we still don't have a new trailer. So I was wrong.
We might have fucked up. We might have fucked up. We might have made it too hot, and now they're just reeling it back a little bit. On top of that, it's real busy in Miami right now. It's Basel weekend. Shout out to all the, what do they call it? The Bosselins. Shout out to all the Bosselins.
Shout out to Cyrus, our good friend Cyrus. He's out there working Art Basel. Probably hating it. I think it's his last day. I think it's the last day of Basel.
Oh, he's probably no. It's going on until Sunday. It's probably been going on since Tuesday.
It might be the last day for him. Probably.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying. Because he's worked. You know, he does the art scene out there, and Basel is never a good time for him. He's always in pain during Basel season.
It's busy, man. If you've never seen Basel, how can I explain Basel to people that have never went to Art Basel?
From what I see and what people say, it's like not the same. It's like. It's got that South by Southwest feeling of just like it's not really what it was back in the day. Yeah,
10 years ago, if you were tapped into like the underground indie South Florida experience, then yes, Art Basel for you in 2014 was probably like a huge moment. Now in 2024, people are just enjoying their time, seeing their people, seeing their expos that they have set up and everything that they have set up, and also to drink. So, you know, it's a fun time. It's a fun time, but a little bit of a different experience.
Drink and get mixy. That's really all it is.
With no cell phone service. That was the most fun part.
Why I would only go on cell phone service.
There's just like, it feels like there's a million niggas all in Wynwood at one point. All the AT&T towers are like, what's going on? And now you have no service. That was my experience every Saturday. I would only go on like a Saturday night. I would never do the entire week because the entire week you're just going to be exhausted. On top of the fact that I never really had anything to do during the weekday because those are really like when the true art experiences are. So I never really had anything to do and drive from Palm Beach down to Miami for that. But Saturday night I'll pull up and go to Wynwood or something.
I wouldn't walk around half the week to look at AI art and shit either. So probably smart not to do that.
Niggas eating bananas for $6 million now. So it's just like $6 million, bro. I couldn't believe that. I thought I was reading an Onion article when I read that shit.
What?
There was an AI. No, not an AI. A crypto billionaire. Remember that banana from like 2 years ago that was at Art Basel and they wanted like $1 million for it? It was like a quote unquote art. They had the banana taped with a piece of duct tape.
No.
So that was a real controversial thing that a lot of people saw online and was like, what are we doing as a community? There was a banana duct tape to the wall, huge art exhibit. They wanted like $1 million for it. This crypto billionaire just bought the original of it for $6 million and ate the banana, and people are going crazy.
It was bad, right? It wasn't a good.
Was the banana good?
And it wasn't good anymore, right?
I have no idea whether or not the banana was actually good.
I feel like that's a marketing ploy then. I feel like that's marketing.
I wanted to throw up because $6 million could go anywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, that leads us to our first topic of the day. Rich people.
Rich people. Why? What's with the throat clear? DJ Cool.
Getting the comeuppance, as you would.
Their comeuppance?
Fucking CEO of that healthcare partner shit.
I know you. I thought you was
fucking banged on. Getting fucking banged on.
That's way more common than where I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna aim the guns directly to the camera.
This isn't gonna be like a JFK. When we were in Dallas and we went to the JFK Memorial and I was just
Y'all niggas were different. Going to the JFK shit in Dallas.
Listen, man, I had to represent. I had to show niggas, but it wasn't like that. This was more of a calculated, or maybe not calculated hit. CEO, I forgot his name. His name Brian something. I forget. I don't know this guy. He's a CEO. It's whatever.
Of UnitedHealthcare.
Was shot and killed outside of his hotel earlier this week. And you know,
the first thing that I don't know why he's laughing. I didn't know how they got a gun into New York City like that.
The response, he had some type of fucking gimmick with the silencer on it and shit. I don't know what the fuck it was, but the gun jammed at one point. He just popping off at the nigga.
The gun jammed?
Yes.
Imagine you're about to
Have you seen the video?
No. There's a literal video of it?
Yes, you are like Dr. Death. I'm shocked that you haven't seen the video of this yet.
No, I have not seen the video of it.
You love seeing people die on camera. This is the video of somebody dying on camera.
Please don't listen to him. I do not love watching people die.
Mark, you wanted to see the Owen Hart tape of when he fell off the ceiling and to see if it was real or not. I remember that.
The reason why, though, is because there's so many fables on, oh, well, he fell 80 feet. Oh, well, he
Fables? That's not fables. That's just people just
making shit up. There's tall tales. I would like to see the actual.
Well, how far do you think it fucking was that he was at the top of the fucking arena?
I'll never know till I see it. And if that's
how would you know on a screen if it's 80 feet or 80 inches, bro? It's on a TV.
Well, that's also fair. That's also fair. I would assume we're not seeing it from a TV. We're seeing it from somebody that had a camera on in the Kemper
Nobody
arena.
had a camera because there was no fucking camera phones then, and you weren't allowed to take camcorders in.
Oh yeah, damn. Think about the late 90s.
Unless you were there, you would have never seen that shit, Mark. And your obsession with like these fables, I'm like, people say shit like, oh, it was maybe 20, 30 feet up or shit like that. That's not a tall tale. That's like an estimation, a guesstimation, if you will, of what that was.
The reason why that I would want it, because I am from the era of Rotten.com. I could watch a lot of things and feel a little bit desensitized.
You are Faces of Death. The person, like that movie Faces of Death, where it's like people who just like die on camera. That is Mark. You were Faces of Death.
But think about the shit that have been seeing since we were 11 years old. Like there were literal.
We shouldn't have been seeing any of it.
We shouldn't. But
Al Jazeera head beheading.
Yes, at 12 years old, bro.
I know. But I feel like this one with the CEO is a little bit different. It's like if you got to see Osama get gunned down like that, or Saddam get gunned down, like it's something different about this one. I don't know. I watched it and I was like, it was like watching Call of Duty. It was just like he was just down and kill streak was activated.
I can only imagine how bad your heart is beating when you know you're about to do some shit that's about to change your life, and the gun just.
The nigga was smiling on camera.
You can see his facial expression.
He fucking had a thing on. Then I guess he went to like a coffee shop and took his shit down and started flirting with the chick. And he had his you need to catch up on the story, bro.
The only thing I know about the story is somebody died. There's city bikes, and he took a Greyhound from Atlanta.
They're still looking for this nigga right now. They're still looking for him. They said that they've circled him and they might have found him. But here's my thing, man. There's so many people that buy guns for like terrible reasons. They shoot fucking kids. They shoot innocent people. And then this motherfucker, man, early bird gets the CEO. He was up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. gunning this nigga down.
Wasn't it for like an event or something?
They stepped over his body to continue the event.
He did not hit the AI over Ty Lue.
Yeah, bro, niggas stepped over. Like the people who was working there, they continued on with their fucking day, ruining people's lives, making high deductibles, denying people health care. They continued on with their fucking day. Mm-hmm. And then they had his listing up by the end of the day. His job listing up by the end of the day. It's a ruthless fucking game. That's why I'm saying this right now. If the revolution from what we got from this election is niggas is like, well, fuck it. Let's just kill these CEOs. I got a list.
Well, you got a list of CEOs?
I got a list. I'm saying here, I'm not trying to get our show flag, but I got a list.
I don't even think. Do you know that there's like companies that are taking down their entire like about us section of like the leadership that's on there now, just so that you cannot find the CEO? I'm pretty sure that's a decent Google, like a 2-minute Google to try and find.
It won't help because you know what? Wayback Machine.
Niggas put a Wayback Machine on UnitedHealthcare to see
Wayback Machine. Y'all think that you're safe? There was a fucking what was it? Anthem or some shit. They were saying that anesthesia wasn't going to be covered.
Oh, Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Blue Cross Blue Shield. They're fucked up for that shit too. After he got blamed on, hey, maybe we was too fast.
They were a little bit too hasty?
Too hasty to do that. Y'all should be scared. Y'all should be scared, man. People are fucking fed up. And not just the uneducated people. It's educated people that are fed up, man. You can't keep fucking people over and expecting that people are going to react without action anymore. That's just what it is right now. This world, this country has shown us that there are people that these people do not give a fuck about us, from our peers to the people in these companies and the corporations, and people are doing something about it. So if there's 2 or 3 more CEO killings, hey, they need to aim at student loan companies next. Where's Sally Mae? Is she still with us?
I know Sally about to spin the block in February, and I'm so annoyed.
Well, hopefully niggas know what to do.
I just don't know how it hasn't been hacked yet. How have niggas not hacked Sally Mae to where
hacked her, like her limbs off? Maybe that could happen.
Is there like a literal Sally Mae? There's not a literal Sally Mae.
Sally Mae's like a black woman. That's why I know that this shit ain't real. That's why I know this shit ain't real. Sally Mae sound like a black woman, bro. Like that's how I know this shit isn't real, man. Like this shit's gotta go. Like, and again, like you see in the comments of all of the posts about that the guy who got shot, like they were saying prayers and deductibles. They were saying wishing you like
prayers and deductibles is crazy.
They were saying all of this crazy shit, and it shows you this is a snapshot of where America is right now. This is a snapshot of like what people are feeling. It's a snapshot of like how people are maneuvering through life right now. Like there's people who have cancer who can't get help, who can't get solid health care. And this motherfucker, for whatever reason he did it, maybe when he gets caught, if he gets caught, run, nigga, run. All right?
I thought you were going to say like Dave Chappelle, run, bitch, run, get some help.
You one of our strongest soldiers right now. But, maybe, we'll figure it out. But there was an engraving on the bullet.
When I seen those, I was like, "Oh, you sadistic."
Nah.
You putting messages on a bullet?
How's that sadistic?
That's sadistic.
How?
It's one thing to get the courage enough to go like, I'm gonna go get the drop on this nigga and shoot him. That's one thing in itself. That takes more than enough courage. To put the bullet on the message, that's for my grandma.
My thing is he saw him downstairs. What was he planning on doing if he got in there? Like he might have gone in there on bullshit. And it might have been way more niggas. He probably just like, I got the one that I wanted, even though it should have been 3 of them. I got the one that I wanted.
The one CEO that he wanted. What if the CEO was on beat and he drew down?
No. No. These niggas they shouldn't even be out in public. That's my thing. It's just like, y'all, the way that y'all do people, you shouldn't be out in public. So like, number one, you fucked up. Number one. I think about like if he had not seen your ass outside. He thought of it like, I got one good lick, and then went home. If he would have went in that bitch in that meeting and just sprayed him.
Does that come with ego though? Yeah, I'm gonna walk down the street.
No, I think he got what he wanted. I think he, I feel as though like when you get what you want, like you got to be mindful. You know what I'm saying? You got to be mindful about what you want. Like it's almost like shopping. You know what I'm saying? You got to be mindful of what you want. Gun them down, blame them, get them out.
Because it's in the same situation of people asking, why is the UnitedHealthcare CEO just walking down the street normally? Obviously, he had a meeting to go to. I think of that the same way of how people were asking Jay Leno, hey, why are you at a Best Western before you're falling down a damn hill?
He had to drop off that payment.
Drop off that envelope?
He had to drop off that payment.
At the Best Western?
Regular people are fed up. Regular people are fed the fuck up.
Well, I don't know if the mafia could be I don't know if the mob can be listed as regular people, and they seem like they know their business. They seem like their business model has been pretty solid for the past 80 years.
Seem pretty regular to me.
I'm not getting caught in no mob. I barely want to get caught with DraftKings, let alone a mob.
Regular niggas getting caught up, man. CEO, speaking of DraftKings, that was that CEO. His parlay didn't hit that night. The other niggas did. You feel me? We don't even know this guy's name. That's the illest shit about it. We don't know his fucking name, Mark. If it was a school shooter, we would have had all that information.
We just know it's a CEO.
No, I'm talking about the guy who shot him.
Oh,
we don't know his fucking name.
Oh yeah,
we don't know shit about him.
Oh no.
He's fucking slick with it.
Yeah, he's moving right. Right.
In an era where, this is my last point. We'll get off this. in an era where every single other month, every other week, it seems like it's fucking kids getting shot, innocent people getting shot, killed. A win's a win. It's one for the good guys.
So you're gonna look at him the same way you look at Chris Dorner.
Hey. Listen, man, we're not getting that deep, man. I don't want this pod to get taken down, bro.
I remember the days. Remember the GTA 5 when we would just play Chris Dorner?
Yeah, bro. Listen, Chris Dorner, different story. Have you seen Rebel Ridge on Netflix?
I did not. I actually did not.
You should see that. You should watch that. Because it gives you Chris Dorner vibes until the end when they kind of fuck it all up. But it gives you Chris Dorner vibes.
Similar story?
I fuck with Rebel Ridge. Rebel Ridge is that shit.
Okay.
I fuck with Rebel Ridge. That's one of the ones. You should see it on Netflix. It's going to be in my top 10 movies of the year for sure. That movie's really good. But hey, CEOs getting blamed in broad daylight 2025. I need to see more.
If we had
more.
What would be the drop that you would press if we had our sound machine right here?
Oh, but I would have to.
Air horns. That's air horns for a nigga's death. It's crazy.
Man, I'm not saying Elon, but I'm saying Elon. All right, next.
See how niggas be? Then all of a sudden, when you see Black Print YouTube, there's a little X on it next week.
Hey,
got censored.
Listen, I know our audience, you know what I'm saying, appreciate shit like this. Now that I know they appreciate shit like this, I'm ready to just get loose.
They're ready to kick the feet off?
Yeah, I'm getting loose. I'm just like, hey, fuck with it. All right, cool.
Okay.
Seeing that response to like election shit, I'm like, okay, they're cool with this. They probably fuck with this too.
Yeah.
Listen, fuck it. Speaking of other things that have come out and may have or may not have severely disappointed you, a lot of these apps are doing the wrapped up and the wrap ups and all this other shit this week. Spotify fashionably late to the rap thing, usually right after Thanksgiving, right? That dropped this week. Apple Music Replay dropped. All these things dropped, and I feel that there's a sense that people were a little bit disappointed this year.
I want to talk about the random year ends that have been coming up. Not necessarily like, hey,
I had a YouTube music one come up, and I was like, damn.
That one's not that bad. For niggas to be getting like Kohl's wrap ups, what are we doing, bruh?
Kohl's?
Like fucking new Eric Cap is sending you a wrapped up of, hey, this is what you dropped. This is what you bought throughout the past year.
Nah, I don't want to.
That's a little much. That's a little much.
Best Buy wrap up. Nigga.
Yeah, if Best Buy gives me a wrap up, what are we doing, bruh?
Yeah, like I don't want to fuck it. Like this, I bought like 3 things. From Best Buy. Like what the fuck was it? They were all on sale. Like no, I think like in terms of. Obviously, I think you lean more towards Apple. I lean more towards Spotify within this crew.
Oh, I was cheating for the past month. I was Spotify.
I feel like what you probably did with Spotify probably didn't give you what you probably felt like was an accurate view.
Spotify was a little sneaky link throughout the past month. I was like, okay, it's rap time. Let me see how much music I can just gorge through the next 3-4 weeks to try and see if I can get a decent rap. Got like 1,000 minutes, so that's really nothing at all. Compared to the 30,000 minutes that I'm about to get on Apple Music.
You're a bot.
I mean, Spotify was still nice. They're like, hey, you're in the top 60% of future listeners. I was like, okay, I'll take that.
That's crazy. Just off of that?
Just off like 2-3 weeks of future listening.
I was pretty confused by my Wrapped. I felt as though it wasn't like indicative of what I was listening to, even though like I believe that I listened to less music this year than ever.
Sure.
I believe that. But I felt like it was just the way it was presented was kind of off this year. Like the AI shit was like whatever. Like I wasn't like a huge fan of that, but I just felt like I felt like it was missing something. I don't know what it was, but last year was like robust. It took me 5 minutes to get through. This year I was done in like 2 minutes. I was like,
2 minutes?
I was like, that's it.
Does the AI thing still?
Yes, it bothers people.
I didn't want to say create fear because I think that's a negative. I think that's a negative connotation, but. When you're looking at Spotify Wrapped and you have a literal AI podcast that, you know, you can't necessarily tell that it's 100% AI because usually the AI that we've been accustomed to throughout the past couple of years has been, okay, they're talking to you, but there's obvious pauses, there's obvious sounds in the voice that you can hear and probably tell that you're listening to AI. Until this one dropped. And I'm just like, this feels way more of a natural conversation than I'm used to when hearing AI. So that interested me, but that also did that complete opposite for other listeners because it's like, okay, this is a little bit odd.
I don't like AI at all. So like when I heard that shit, I was like, this isn't even really cool to me.
Yeah.
Like I would rather not do that at all. Like it's not. I don't like it at all. Like I feel like the small and the thing is like I don't know why people keep doing it, because every small integration of AI, people, like you said, immediately recognize it, immediately repel it, and rebuke it, and they don't want to see it. I don't know why people keep doing it. I don't know why Spotify chose to do that. Like it's a strange decision from a company that I feel like is very forward in their thinking sometimes. But I think that the rap being such a disappointment to a lot of people highlighted issues that people have with the app in general. We still don't have high definition music. We still don't have a lot of things that people want from Spotify, the app right now. And that just, a lot of people, I saw a lot of people being like, I'm moving back to Apple. Like a lot of people are like really pissed at Spotify right now.
Wow. I will say this year's Apple Replay, how did I describe it when I tweeted about it the other day? I was like, okay, Apple Music Replay this year did a lot of advancements and changes that actually did feel good. I think they're finally embracing, after, 3 years of having Apple Music Replay, that people want to be able to share this socially and share their experience with their friends. It feels like they cut the lead down to 15 after being down 40 for the past 3 years.
15, all right, maybe 28.
Nah, it's like 15. Y'all still down. It was a good run.
20.
After being down 40 to Spotify rap for like the past couple of years, it feels like they cleaned it up just a little bit. But like you say with AI, you know, Apple is doing everything with this Apple Intelligence. It's burning the shit out of my battery, my 15 Pro, for the past couple of weeks.
I like it. I like the AI the Apple Intelligence thing, for email descriptions, but sometimes it'd be way off.
Yeah,
for the email description. Like
sometimes they'll write you something a little bit funny, but I would assume that in the next Apple Music Replay, they're probably going to use a little bit of Apple Intelligence to try and spice up the Apple Music Replay just a little bit differently than how they have done in past years. But I did like my data. I think my data was accurate.
What was yours? Let's pull up ours real quick.
My Apple Music Replay.
Yeah.
We'll pull that up real quick. It's still updating because Apple Music allows you to get your December data in before the time January 1st comes. So mine is still updating right now, but I do feel like it is pretty accurate outside of like a couple of things, but not too much. I was not necessarily surprised that I did not get the Drake 3-peat. Drake has been my top artist for the past 2 years, but Future got him on about...
Well, Drake didn't put out anything this year, so...
Yeah, he got him off like 100 minutes, about around 100 minutes or so, that Future got the top artist. But that can change between now and December. I still think it's going to be Future going into the end of the year.
I feel like it's fucked that Metro sneaks into all of our lists because of the feature artist shit. Like,
yeah.
Clearly, I was not listening to him without Future. I feel like he snuck in through that. But also, wasn't it weird that he snuck in a lower... Like, wouldn't if the titling was Future and Metro Boomin, that should have been the artist, not Future, then Metro Boomin.
Well, with Spotify, you'll see it as Future, Metro Boomin.
So
you'll end up having two artists
separate. That is so.
That's why. That's why my top artist says Ty Dolla $ign's in my top 10. I'm like, I'm not playing Ty Dolla $ign like that, but. Because he had the group album with Kanye, yeah, I definitely was playing that throughout the beginning of the year. It ends up being Kanye West, Ty Dolla $ign.
Okay.
So Ty Dolla $ign ends up being one of my top artists throughout 2024. Right, so, but I haven't really been paying too much solo Ty Dolla $ign outside of his group album.
So here's my numbers, but I got a plot twist. Here's my numbers.
A plot twist on your rap. Okay.
On my rap.
Okay.
My top artists were Future, Drake, Metro, Gunna, and Weeknd. There's a plot twist though. My top songs were Type Shit, which, I mean, clearly, like, I listen to that song every day. 101 from Gunna, Jealous from the second Future album that came out, Don Toliver Glock, yes, and Gas Me Up from Skepta. There's a plot twist there, though. Let's go to Spotify stats.
Okay.
Let's go to Spotify stats. Spotify stats. I pulled this up because I got sent a TikTok the other day. From somebody saying that the rap is wrong. Your rap is wrong. Your rap is completely wrong.
There's been a lot of TikToks on that as well. From those that are just like, yeah, this just feels a little bit different from what it should be.
So my top artists for this year, and this is probably right. Like Future, Drake, Thug have they're always on my top because like I think I think just in terms of artists, like Drake probably got the best albums out of all of them. But I listen to Future and Thug the most. But I listen to Drake albums from top to bottom. So that's how he sneaks on every single year. So Future, Drake, Weeknd. I did listen to a lot of Dawn FM this year. That's happened.
Still solid.
Gunna number 4, Thug number 5. Thug is not on my Spotify list at all this year, which struck me as odd because you know how much I listen to him.
Yeah.
Even if he's at his lowest he's ever been this year because he hasn't put out anything, still very low, right? So these are my top artists according to Spotify stats, right? So let's go to top tracks. This is where it gets tricky, right?
Yeah.
Last 12 months. Dawn FM intro, because again, I'm a type of person that listens to music
top to bottom,
but I listen to it top to bottom. I don't listen to shit on shuffle.
Isn't that interesting? Well, I guess you could. I guess
I come from the CD era, so like I could never like I listen to CDs top to bottom. I listen to albums top to bottom.
Yeah, it's really opinion based, but I feel like those that listen to Spotify and specify their experience on Spotify compared to Apple Music, I feel like Spotify, you just jump into random songs from time to time and playlists and so on and so forth. Whereas it's not necessarily. I don't think Spotify truly designs it that way. I mean, you could jump into an album and just listen to top to bottom on Spotify, but just the overall.
But you'll more often than not see shuffle or playlist before you see albums on there. Yeah. That is for sure. Like the discoverability is great, but if you're an album guy like me, when you go to the artist page, the first thing you see is their singles, not their albums, right? It's like
that's true.
It's the first thing you see the singles, not the albums. And that's why I feel like Apple, that's one advantage I will say it has over that is it's very album focused.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you see.
Library focused.
Is album and library. So Dawn FM intro, because I listened to it top to bottom, type shit is number 2. I feel like Dawn FM only snuck in there because like I listened to that album top to bottom, but it's a short ass song. It's like a 1-minute song on there. Trojan Horse by Dave and Central C.
Album that EP that you definitely championed on the show.
Sprinter was number 3.
Yeah,
so it's probably listened to 1,000 times this year.
Yeah.
One of One is 5. Paramore, Running Out of Time. I'm going through top 10 because you're going to start to see the songs I just named on my rap here. Jealous is number 7. Is There Someone Else by Weeknd. Drew Picasso by Drake. And Luckily I'm Having by Tizo Touchdown and Don Toliver. Did you notice that there's a bunch of 2023 songs I listened to this year that are not on the Wrapped at all?
Yeah.
But all my whole Wrapped is all 2024 songs.
Yeah.
And on my Wrapped, I also think they have me listen to Tommy Richmond on there. I was just I didn't listen to $1 Million Baby like
you were fucking with $1 Million Baby like that.
No, hell no.
I thought you were repping your city for so damn long.
I wasn't repping my city at all. But if you go through Spotify stats, the song is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
It's not up here. No, it's not up here. At least in terms of songs I've listened to a lot of times.
And this is a third party site that's giving you what your true statistics are with Spotify.
Yeah, and Gas Me Up by Skepta is number 18.
Is all the way down to number 18.
Yeah,
it's funny, man.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't think I've had too much of an issue with the placement of my top songs because obviously Apple Music updates every week to pretty much show you your top songs. So it's never really like a surprise by the time that December comes. Album wise, I feel like it was a little bit of a surprise of my top albums. But then again, I feel like in 2024, I was so one and done with a lot of the music that I listened to. I would just play one album, finish it. Cool album, done. Next album.
But there wasn't nothing really like
outside of like Future and Party. Those were the 2 albums that have like 400 plus minutes, and I definitely frequently played. Everything else, a lot of albums that I really enjoyed. It's like this album's 152 minutes. This album's 150 minutes. This album's 148 minutes. This album's 146 minutes. Like everything is pretty much
one done
around that same time. I probably played it like twice, but I didn't really revisit it. Outside of We Don't Trust You and Party Next Door 4. So I got a month to try and continue to listen to a lot of the music that I want to listen to because I didn't expect I'll say this. I did play a lot of For All the Dogs in 2024. I didn't expect it to make top 15.
But you got to remember though, right? And we'll get to Drake in a second.
Yeah.
We got stuff to talk about with him too. But
yeah.
That came out late October or early October, right? Or late September, right?
I was here, late the first 2 weeks of October last year. Yeah.
So like you got to think
pretty fresh.
It was very like I was still listening to that at least up till like February, March-ish.
Yeah.
So that's probably how he came into anything, because he didn't drop anything after that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, May happened, and we were listening to a lot of that stuff, you know, for the show and just for generally just picking apart lines and things like that. But like, that's how he gets in. It's like, I feel like he is like an album artist. And I feel like a lot of people do listen to his albums front to back or listen to his singles front to back. And it's just like, I went back and listened to some old stuff from his this year or this week. And just to kind of like, with all the law stuff going on and stuff, let me just listen to some stuff to see if there's any clue as to like, you know, anything like that. But it was a relatively fresh album. And then we had nothing. Yeah. And for months until Future came out. And he came out twice. Then we had nothing again, and then a third album. A little bit later in September though. Yeah, like the second album was in like March still, or April or whatever. And pretty close to the first. We Don't Trust You. Yeah, and then we had nothing again. So like it was a very empty year. So it's not hard to see how like a lot of your same artists came on this year too. But more specifically to Drake, a lot of stuff came out this week, and Spotify is involved, as we see. A lot of two legal, I guess. I guess he filed complaints. Essentially, is what these were, petitions rather, about Universal Music Group's. How could I say their promotion, their behavior during the beef with Kendrick Lamar over this year. I think my guy Mills actually said it so much better than I could have ever said it. Shout out to Mills. He said the headlines look way more pathetic than the actual case is. Like the meat and potatoes of the lawsuit. Like, I feel like people have reacted to the headlines without actually reading it. So like I went in and read it, and I was just like, yeah, this is pretty unprecedented. Okay, like this is a artist. I think people are looking at it as like he's suing them because he lost, and I think that when you read that, right, it's like he doesn't even want the song to be taken down. He's not even suing. I mean, yeah, I don't think there would be a point at that point. Yeah, like there is no point for him to do that. Yeah. I think this is unprecedented because we're seeing him sue the label who, and I think it's tricky, especially on his end, and I don't really know how much traction he's going to get from this because he and Kendrick are both signed to this label for distribution as a subsidiary of their larger label, right? Yeah. I think the argument has always been, or I guess the argument he's saying is like, y'all are supposed to stay out of it. Or if in that case, not take a side and promote us both equally. He's alleging that it wasn't promoted equally. Him being the biggest artist on there, Kendrick being like the third or fourth biggest artist they have on there. He's looking at it like, I didn't get the same amount of promotion for any of this stuff as this did. Not saying it would have mattered at that point. I don't think it would have. I don't think anybody would agree that it wouldn't have mattered at that time. But he's looking at it like, you guys pay people to put these songs front and center. And I want my money. I want my support because I signed to you guys for however many dollars. And I think that it's a messy, I called it on Blackprint. Yeah. That's all I want to say. I called this on Blackprint. I said, this is going to be the end of what we know as hip hop as we know it. Literally. Did I not? Because it's going to change. I was called crazy. Was I not? It happened. I was called crazy. I was called a stan. I was called all types of shit. When I have you liked being called the stan, knowing that it's only one artist? I was like, it's really just Thug. Yeah. That if you wanted to use that verbiage, you could. But Thug was in jail. There wasn't really anything that you could do or say regarding Thug at that time. And even then, I listen to Future a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, it's like that's neither here nor there. I don't give a fuck what people call me. I called this shit. I knew this shit was going to get this messy when it happened. And I think that it's completely ego driven for sure. But will you see me be pro label? Fuck no. Yeah. Will you see me be pro Lucian Grange? Fuck no. Yeah. Isn't that the funny part? Everybody's like, I've seen artists that were online that were just like, hey, this might do a lot of good for not only my friends and my peers, but probably also for myself as far as like creation, releasing music, not having to worry about also not having a streaming service who they're alleged or he's alleging in cahoots, or they have, UMG has stake in Spotify. Like these are all things that are in the case. Like they have stake in Spotify. It's like they're all puppet mastering it to be this way. And it's just like, as an artist, like that's fuck. We've seen what record labels have done to these people. If they'll do this to the biggest artists that they have, what makes you think they're not going to do this to the smallest artists that they have?
Yeah, so I've seen people say like, yeah, it feels like it's going to be a positive, but still you shouldn't go ahead and why are you serving Kendrick a subpoena?
He didn't. That's the craziest part, is that people think that he is.
He's serving a subpoena right at his door.
Yeah,
like, I'll see you in court.
I'm like, that is not what's happening here. But then you get like you get the weird anti-Semitism, you get the weird all of that stuff, and it's like, and then you get to the second case where it's like the defamation case, where it's like, where it gets a little bit more personal, a little bit more clear. And I think a lot of people, like, remember the first case came on, there was like, they'll sue him for the money, but won't sue him for the allegations. And then the next day, the one came out about the allegations, and then the people started deleting their tweets. And it's just like, listen, say what you want, say what you will, about whatever
was said in the battle.
What's said.
Does that feel like the harder fight though? Obviously, between Drake and UMG, that's going to be a battle that could last years on end.
Or it could not, because I think they'll honestly settle. But I think the hardest battle to cross, and this is what I think about it, like just in terms of just like what I know and like what I've been around and seeing things like this before.
Yeah.
The defamation case, he has some merit. Like, I think that there has never been, and I want people to like really take themselves out of this moment and be like, did Ether have a cover that had, did it either have a cover at all? No, right?
If either had a cover that had Jay-Z's address,
dick sucking lips,
Jay-Z's address,
dick sucking lips. No, even more than that. He called Jay-Z dick sucking lips on there. If he had a shit that said that, like, okay, that's a bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a bit much.
Yeah. If it had those original Joe Camel joints from like 2002,
like if Takeover had that, if I Smell Pussy didn't have one, like Back Down didn't have anything as salacious as what was being claimed. There has been never a hip hop beef that has taken it that far. And I think that instead of it being about, like I said before, who lyrically was the best, because I still stand by this, I don't think either of them proved that either of them were the better lyricists. I think they were both the same great lyricists that we already had, right? That's just the long and short of it. Drake's still one of the greatest rappers. Kendrick's still one of the greatest rappers. That just is what it is.
Sure.
But I think that there's a case because that's the man's house with sexual offender dots on it, and you're alleging that his friends are all that. It's like his son lives there. You know what I mean? Like it becomes a little bit different. When it's that. I think the argument that he has there is, y'all could have said the song's cool, the cover's got to go.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, I'll give them that.
It's kind of like what happened with Meet the Grams, right? Remember Meet the Grams had the original cover of whatever that Prince Ebony dude was that put everything out, but then when it made streaming, it was just a black cover.
Yes, because again, it has his name on the pill bottles and things like that. It's like there's a lot there that I feel like people, instead of wanting to get actual substance out of it, they want to get like the most salacious parts of it out. And I'm like, the
shock jock part of it.
I don't think that, to me, like I said before, as we near the end of the year, I still stand on this. That wasn't particularly interesting to me. And on Drake's side, the DV stuff wasn't particularly interesting to me too. Like if Kendrick wants to go ahead and say like that was defamation or whatever, like all that shit, he should,
and should,
he should,
exactly,
he should,
yeah.
But I think that which is fucked up by all means.
Yeah.
The pedophile thing just rang harder, which is fucked up to say.
Yeah.
It rang harder than the DV. So people have largely glossed over that part. And I think that people are like, well, there's proof. I'm like, where is the proof at?
Well, I don't think we're going to. That's why I asked the question about how difficult of a case is that going to be when you talk about defamation, because if
not hard, but the cover's still there. It's on streaming services.
Yeah.
It is, because the thing is like, the label has to know and approve it because they got to put their name on it. And I think what UMG kind of fucked up with is they put their name on it. And not only that, there could be proof that they pay people, they whitelisted creators to be able to play the song. Like I've never seen that happen before. I used to work at UMG. Full disclosure. Whitelisting is when you're able to use a song as a creator on your stream or on your work.
And it won't get pulled.
You have never seen that happen before.
Yeah.
Until this song for like a month or something, it was able to be whitelisted.
Yeah.
And then they took it away.
Yeah.
And I was like, his people aren't able to do that. UMG is. You know what I mean? It's very clear. It's very clear. And then UMG's response of like, well, the people chose. I'm just like, that's crazy. All right. Like that's crazy.
Not necessarily a lie, but you are trying to save yourself in a certain standpoint.
Exactly. I'm just like it's damage control, right? Like it's clear that people, largely chose that song. Yeah. But you're acting like there aren't people that chose the other song too. You know what I mean? Like I think that's just really the long and short of it. Like I look at that as, or I look at this as, aside from the fucking beef, this is the biggest artist going against the fucking biggest label in the world that he still is working for. And I think that a lot of artists are quiet about it right now because they're probably like, well, they've been quiet about this shit all year. Let's just be clear. But it's never happened before. Like somebody said, well, what if Jay sued Nas or what if Ja sued 50? I'm like,
you want to know what Jay wanted to do?
Yeah, exactly.
In 2002,
exactly.
We could play Hobie's Home for you. We could play Hobie's Home for you.
Exactly.
He wanted to fight Nas in a ring.
Yes.
For X amount of money, give it to charity. What else did he want to do? He wanted to have a concert with Nas.
Yes. And Nas said no to all of it.
$1 million each.
Imagine if Drake tries to do anything like that.
He would have got booed out the building easily.
But also UMG at the time through Def Jam, they weren't taking a side there. They were not. Well, Nas was on Sony, but like Jay and Nas weren't both signed to UMG.
Yeah.
Or Sony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so there was a clear push, but it was only for their own artists.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the shit gets tricky, is that these dudes are both on one track. They're both on one label, and I think that's what makes it tricky. I think it's the same way when him and Pusha T were beefing. UMG stayed out of that one.
100%. That lasted.
You can't even find those diss songs anymore. You can't even find those diss songs anymore. Add it on. You can't find this on YouTube. What is it?
W Freestyle?
You can't find it.
Can you type it in on YouTube? I'm pretty sure they're still on YouTube. Nothing really ever gets removed out of YouTube. But as far as like streaming,
SoundCloud, they took it off SoundCloud. I think
they did.
I think so.
As far as like streaming presence, no, those will never be on. Those will never be on YouTube.
They're
but
not
I'm pretty
there.
sure.
Artists
on Apple Music.
Two artists on UMG, and again, like shots and things like that. Like,
yeah, still there. It's uploaded to OBO Sound, 19 million views 6 years ago.
Yeah, so
W Freestyle. But again, streaming presence, you're never gonna have.
But you get what I'm saying, right? You've never seen anything like this before.
Because rap beef should live in that.
Yes, it should
ecosystem.
Be isolated. It should be isolated in that moment.
Yeah,
and I don't get what people don't see about that. Like it's very much different. Like if people are not trying to admit that this is not how any of this has ever gone before, I don't know what they're trying to argue. This has never happened before. Yeah, this has never happened before. Like and again, to say that there was no like help is crazy too. So how did the song get the radio at that point, right? It went to radio that Tuesday. Yeah. It came out Saturday, went to radio that Tuesday. Family Matters didn't go to radio at all.
That's that long ass 7-minute record. That's just not. Well, it's not intended to be. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
He didn't make a record for mass consumption.
Yeah.
So like again, like when you think about like the long and short of how this goes, it does seem a little odd. But I think that people are listening. He's like, oh, he's acting like a Karen. I'm just like, bro, there was a fucking restraining order between 50 and Ja. There's legal shit that's happening beefs all the fucking time, bro. Yep. Like this has happened. You guys are just choosing to not want to believe these things.
And on top of that, rap beef's not going to end. This is not the last. This is probably not even the last dish from this story. From these two that we're even going to see.
Which is, I'm tired already. Just even speaking about this. But I mean, I felt as though we had to touch on this because I had to like really just kind of level set here and be like, this is actually not that crazy. Like, it's actually not that crazy.
I mean, I do want to see if a corporation can end up being.
They'll settle, Mark. They'll settle. I think they'll settle and
give him his bread and then just walk away, or is it like give you your bread? You're out your contract. Enjoy your rest of your career.
They would be stupid to let him walk to Sony or any other place or let him go indie. If Drake ever goes indie.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what is a picture? I'm even squinting, trying to think about it right now of Drake being an independent artist.
He could ask for anything that he wanted.
Yeah.
He would be the label.
Yeah.
He would have their power. And that's another instance of like giving somebody that much power. Like this is a power that like Kendrick doesn't even have.
Yeah.
Like he could reshape this shit. Honestly, like we've seen what Larry Jackson said about his back catalog. There was an interview with him saying his back catalog was in the billions.
Wow.
Taking that anywhere, you're automatically the biggest thing ever. They would be dumb to let him go.
Yeah.
Which makes it odd to me why to me this whole thing was put into a different perspective when I see what he's saying about Universal. Like they probably were beefing, and if honestly feels like the Kendrick thing was serendipitous for UMG to be like, okay, if you want to leave, we got our new guy.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's seeming like was what happened to him. It was just like, oh, we got our new guy. You can go then, pedophile. Bye.
Yeah.
Like that. And it's like, in the idea is that like, he's saying that you're purposely driving my stock down so that at the end of my negotiation, you can give me less money.
My price is different.
My price is different. Or when I leave, my price will be different then because they're looking at me, pedophile or alleged pedophile. So I need y'all to say that I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I mean, no one's come forward yet.
And then they're saying, well, we ain't say it. He said it.
Yes. Yes. There is a line in this case. I believe it's the first one that came out, or it might be the defamation one, where UMG told Drake, if you sue us or if you do anything legal towards us, we'll just sue Kendrick.
And that's not, he's probably putting his hands up like, hey, I ain't tell you to do that shit.
Exactly. Like, I don't even know how that would have stopped him. But like, there's a line on that said that. And I'm just like, so again, if the label is basically saying, hey, well, we had nothing to do with it. I'm like, you definitely had something to do with it. He doesn't have the power to do that by himself. You doing it as an artist, you don't have the power to, they're your distro. UMG is your distro. They're the ones who's sending it out. That's all I'm saying.
Holidays, man. Tensions are high.
It's very high, very high. I'm just saying, think about it. Think about it a little bit. I'm just saying, think about it a little bit. Instead of saying, listen, we can still have these conversations and still say he lost the beef. I just want to say that right now. Like, he lost.
Yeah.
Unequivocally, he lost.
For sure, 100%.
One of his biggest L's.
Yeah.
Like Pusha one, people will argue that one all day. He lost this, all right? It's going to affect him going forward, for sure, without a doubt. Will I think that it will stop anything? Absolutely not. We've already seen this. It's not stopping him from doing anything. So we can just be clear here. Two things can be true.
Yeah.
He lost, but also I want to see him take UMG down. No, two things can be true. Two things can be true. Like, I think people are so like, and again, they've made this such a culture issue that it's very hard to have a meaningful conversation about this.
Oh yeah, you gotta pick a side.
You gotta preface it. You gotta pick a side. So it's like, oh, he's not black. You know that, right? I'm just like, what is he? Like, I don't even want to get into the colorism part, but once again, Mark,
it's way too much.
I said this in June. I said, stay away from the colorism shit
because it's gonna be a slippery
different.
slope. It's a slippery slope.
What happened? What happened?
Listen, man. You know what? I don't even want to think about how to clean it up in the next year. It might even take more than 1 year to try and clean up what has happened. But you know, it has still felt like a blessing to see it in the city.
Not really.
At least to me. What is it? Tomorrow will be a year since I hopped in that car and took the ride cross country. I still have a lot of appreciation for what I have seen throughout the year. Yeah.
You got here in December?
Yeah. It's already been a year. It's crazy, right?
Oh, I thought you got here in January.
Hell no. January?
Wow.
Hell no. Remember I was here for New Year's?
Oh, yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Fuck, I was like getting your place ready this time last year.
Yeah, exactly. We got here like on the 11th. We got here on the 11th.
Shit.
My mom came like a couple of days after.
Yeah, you know what? Because Christmas and all that stuff
and then Christmas happened.
Holy
and then
fuck.
New Year's, year 5 passed,
Congratulations, brother. You did it. 1 whole year.
You know,
holy shit.
I feel like there's still a lot more. But then again, this is just me. This is just me and how I always look at myself. There's always more work to do. And, you know, more work to do personally with myself, more work to do career-wise, so on and so forth. I didn't really have a vision specifically of what I wanted to be a year prior. Like, I did not move here and be like, okay, in December 2024, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have this. I did gain a lot of good things. I did gain a lot of good experience with many, 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 many different things in my life. I also had some challenges. I also had some mishaps, had some bad things happen as well. Taking that and wrapping that all up into 2024, I think has been like one of the, and especially to know there's been a 2024 in Los Angeles, a historic year for Los Angeles in itself. Sports, music, however you want to label it. To know that all of that has happened within like this past year, it's hard to wrap my head around, but I am still really appreciative of it.
Hey man, you came out here to do what you're supposed to do. I think the first year you're supposed to have that struggle. First year you got. Is the first year always a struggle? Hell yeah, bro. You already know what I went through, bro. Like the first year, you gotta have that struggle. You went through it in a different way. You got your own story. You know what I'm saying? You went through it in your own way.
Yeah.
I mean, you see me today. I'm still going through my own paces, and I'm going through my own shit today. So like, you know, you you're on your own now. And I think to anybody that is trying to like shoot for the stars and do their own thing, you got to remember like you're going to have things that humble you and that level you out. You know what I mean? You're going to have things that really make you rethink things that you were doing already. Like, again, I moved out here as a 27-year-old bright-eyed kid, and I thought I was going to have the whole world in my palms. Yeah. You know, not then in 10 years, it'll be 10 years next month since I moved here.
This shit fly.
I
like,
know.
This does not feel like I got here a year ago. I will say, or I will ask specifically, has it ever felt like the experiences that you've had within the past few years have jaded you? You said you moved here as a 27-year-old, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid. Has it felt like what has happened throughout the past decade has jaded you in a sense?
I think certain elements has. I think when I moved here, I was very much like, I want to be in the music industry. I think that was what it was. And
your main goal was
that was my main goal.
Top priority, yeah.
And I did it.
Yeah.
I fucking did it. You know what I mean? Like, and I had a taste of it, and I realized it wasn't for me, and like there was a loss there. And I think I was pivoting right when I met my wife, right? Like I was pivoting already. I was like, this isn't really like for me. This is soul draining, and you know, I had a terrible experience. Like everybody knows, like my experience with UMG didn't end the best. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that jaded me for a while, and it made me kind of rethink that. But I think like in terms of people, I try to be open. You know what I mean? And I always like, I'll tell you like all the time, like just be open to new experiences. Like there's gonna be somebody, you know what I'm saying, that you're gonna meet, or somebody you're gonna befriend, and they're gonna change your whole perspective of that. And I think that I've gotten that experience multiple times. You know, while I've been here. Like I think you see, like we went to fucking the flea market shit, Central Flea a couple months ago
in September.
And we saw J305, and he just sat there and we talked for 20 minutes, and he just talked about like how much one interview that I did for him did for him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's moments like that made me think like, okay, this is what I came here to do. You know what I mean? This is what I came here to accomplish. And that jadedness kind of goes away. You know what I'm saying? Because I did make an impact while I was here. I was able to make an impact. And, you know, I just think about all those moments. Like I can't be too jaded. I'm more so blessed. You know what I mean? And even through all of the downs, I'm able to kind of get back up. I think resiliency is the one thing you learn when you live on your own. And you do something like that. For sure. It's resiliency. Like resiliency is like the number one thing that you learn when you're doing it on your own, because it's so easy. It's easy for you to go home. It's so easy for you to just go back to what you know. Yeah. It's harder for you to stay and stick it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I want everyone to see, like, that's why I give myself such a hard time, and I'm so hard on myself, because I'm like, there are people literally here that watch me and watch what I do and kind of like see it, you know what I'm saying? And they see what I've done, and they say, oh, I can do that. And it's like, I got to be a good example for Mark and, you know, and Eric and Pat and everyone that's moved out here to do and be the best person I can be, because it's not just about me. And I've never thought like that. I've always been selfless in that way. So, you know, I just try and make sure that I proceed and I carry myself in a certain way at all times.
Yeah, I think I don't want to necessarily say, because I hate the memes. I hate the memes that are like, it'll be like month by month. You see in the years, it's like, all right, this is going to be the month. And this is got January, February, March, April, May, June, July. I'm not going to look at it 2025 from that perspective. I just want to get a percentage better from what I have done in 2024. Like you're always
going to do that. Yeah. Because your second year here is going to be the knowledge that you've gained
throughout the past year.
Yeah. The ways that you've maneuvered through certain instances and things that have gone on, that's all going to change. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all going to change. Like I again, never thought I'd be where we're at now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
I never thought that. Like,
can I reach?
Yeah, like these panels. Like I never thought we'd be able to do anything and do it big like this. So like, you know, you're a part of the journey. I'm glad to be part of your journey. You're a part of my journey. Like that's really what it is. And I think for anybody that's trying to do this, kind of look to what Mark does. Look to what I've been able to do. Like, and it doesn't have to be moving to LA. It could be fucking moving to Oregon. It could be moving anywhere. It's you find that perspective and you find your tribe, man. You find your community and you really cultivate it. I think the one thing I've been proud to do for the past 10 years is that I found my niggas and I kept them, and I kept y'all close. Like I was able to kind of mend the fences with a mutual friend of ours over the past month, and
you talked about how good that felt.
Yeah, we had a good 2-hour conversation, and we got everything out in the open, and it just felt good to have a piece of that tribe back. You know what I mean, and have them back, because I'm all about bringing people together. Like I feel like a couple weeks ago, I was like, am I always the person that brings people together? And you were like, nigga, duh, yes.
You never felt that?
I do, but sometimes I get tired. You know what I mean?
Of having to do it, or just like, well, not having to. Nobody's putting your feet to the fire to go ahead and do it, but that always felt natural for you.
It is natural. But it's natural to me because like I think of everything that I listen to or what I've been a part of. Like my whole thing and my whole life has been, if I'm not finding what I want here, I'm gonna go find it. You know what I'm saying? And I found that home with you guys. Mm-hmm. I found that home with RNC. I found that home with all of y'all. Like if my family is not giving me what I want, I'm gonna go find it with my family that I have here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it's always been. Yeah. And I feel it, but I have never been able to, what's the word? I've never been able to accept it until like now. You know what I mean? Like
accept it in what?
Accept my role as a leader. You know what I mean? Like, sure. I think I've said it on this show. Like, I try and be the best leader that I can be. Mm-hmm. But like, sometimes I'd be like, fuck, I'm tired. I don't want to do it today. I don't want to bring people together today. I'll shout you out for, attempting to do that on your own. You did a great job, by the way. You've done it on your own. Like, in times when I've just kind of just been like, I don't even feel like doing it right now, bro. Yeah. Like, I'm just tired. You know what I mean? But, it's good to know that, again, if I'm feeling like I can't give my all, I've at least shown you, or you've seen from me, or you've learned, like I passed this down to you. Yeah. So you can be the best leader that you can be. Yeah. That's ultimately all it is. It's all I want from my friends.
Yeah. I remember one thing that I got told this year, like I told a lot of things this year, but one thing that really stuck with me was that I was told that it looks from the way that I approach certain things in life that you can tell that I have not been jaded by a lot of just like bad things in life. And I kind of stuck with that because the person said to never lose that, because, that's truly, truly what makes your essence. And I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, I feel like the challenges that I've had in 2024 have really made me, take a step back and look at approaching myself a little bit differently. I still say 1000% that ego is probably one of the harder things to break. I know a lot of people talk about.
You didn't know you had that though, and I think
I knew I had it. It was something that I've been trying to work on for the past few years. I thought I had it down. 2024 happened, and I was like, okay, I need a little bit more work to do.
There was so much like shit that I learned about you this year. Just like I've never lived this close to you. I've never been this close to you ever.
There's that too, yeah.
Yeah, so like I was just like, I didn't know, like I'm literally, me and you will be like, me and you had it out 2 months ago. Yeah. I think it was the most contentious conversation me and you had ever had.
But it was it was necessary and it was needed, because I needed to look at myself and just be like, oh, okay. Not only was I looking at it from a perspective of me looking out for me, but I also had to look out for myself in a way that I don't think that I've had the opportunity to do so for a little while.
But you also had to see that I think you also had to learn that like I was not your enemy, or I was not trying to be your enemy.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's also easy to happen when you're a person that lives in here for some time, from time to time, when things are a little bit bad. That can be a little bit hard to visualize.
I don't think it's necessarily like jaded. I will say like just complete candid. Like I feel like you haven't had a lot of experiences. You know what I'm saying? And I think you're learning that now. Like you're getting that now. Like trust me, I'm sure you've gotten a lot of them this year. Whenever you want to tell the people, you're free to tell the people. But like,
I'm not going into detail about that. But, I'm just gonna let you know right now.
But I feel like you hadn't been through this, so it's like, again, it's me having to remember, like, Mark, this is your first time out by yourself. I got to be patient. And listen, patience of a saint. Like my wife says all the time, you're so patient with me, and you're so patient with everybody. That was not something that I had, Mark, before I lived out here, because I had to learn that shit. I had to learn how to be patient, and I think you'll learn that too. But it's like I think you had an ego that you just didn't know you had. Like you have. I was just like, damn, I did not fucking know Mark was this up his own ass. Like I was just like, bro, I gotta
can be sometimes.
I got to bring you
some
down,
instances.
and I don't like being like that. But I was like, I had to bring you. I was like, I got to bring this motherfucker down today. I got to tell him. Me and you have had plenty come to Jesus moments in the past 6 months. Where
Tell
I'm
me
just
about
like,
Boy, I gotta watch back some of the episodes from August and September. I don't know how the hell I did that shit. But I digress.
But yeah, like again, like I literally did not even remember that you had gotten here. And again, that just goes to show just how crazy this year has been, but how blessed we are in this moment. You know what I'm saying? You were able to go home, see some of your people for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so my dad and my sister out in New York City. I was able to experience New York City in a much different way than I usually do. Because usually when I'm out in New York City to go see my family, I'm just going right back to Florida, going back to my house. Now I was able to go back to my apartment.
Your apartment
in Los Angeles, and I was like, damn. I'm not going to necessarily say that I needed like a couple days away from Los Angeles, but coming back to it after a vacation really felt special.
You never appreciate space and fucking quiet, or your type of quiet.
Yeah.
Everyone has a type of quiet. Like,
yeah.
I love just fucking quiet. Like
literal quiet. Like OG quiet.
Yes, I love quiet in this moment in my life. Like when my wife comes home, it's like, put your fucking helmet on, bro, because she's coming with the tornado. Because like I'm quiet all day.
My quiet is Sports Center playing in the background at like a very low volume, and I'm probably playing
surfing the web or something like that. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's my quiet.
Like I love having what they call it, soft days, soft Mondays, soft Tuesdays. I like having soft Wednesdays. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
but you never appreciate that until when you get home. You can lay in your own bed. It's perfectly tuned to your fucking your weight and your height, all that shit. Like you don't appreciate that till you get back. You know what I'm saying? Like I was able to spend a lot of time with my in-laws over the Thanksgiving break and cooked, and you know, it's again, one important thing is like building those traditions. You know what I'm saying? And like my mother-in-law was just like, maybe next year we don't make a turkey, and I said, thank you, Jesus, bruh. Yes. No more turkeys. Let's make a hen.
What stressed you out about the turkey?
It wasn't even about the turkey. It was like my father-in-law is like one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. One, also one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life too. And you met him before. He's like he's fucking amazing. And 3, one of the most ambitious people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah,
he made 2 turkeys this year.
Y'all ate both of them?
He made one in the oven, and he made one smoked. I'm not a turkey guy like that.
Oh, he dropped it in the I've seen people dropping it. That's fried.
He smoked it in the grill.
Okay.
I'm not really a big turkey person. My wife's not really a big turkey person.
Yeah.
Like nobody around, and it's really like us 6. It's like me, my wife, my parents-in-law, and my brother-in-law and his wife, and my goddaughter.
Yeah.
But I was honestly like I was looking at the big turkey from the oven. Like I'm not touching this.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not touching this turkey.
Y'all leftovers had to be crazy.
Bro, we had leftovers all the way up to earlier this week. Like we had so many fucking leftovers, bro. We had to throw them all out. But like we cooked for 15 people and it was only maybe 4 of us. Like,
yeah.
Period. Like and like I told my mother-in-law, I was like, maybe we were too ambitious. Like maybe we should like start cooking early, because we didn't cook or we didn't eat on Thanksgiving Day till like 7.
Yeah.
We ate and we all fucking passed out.
Yeah.
Like, because it was so damn late and we were so starved that we were just tired, right?
Yeah.
So like I think that like my father-in-law is fantastic. Everything tasted great. I think that let's take some of the stress off of him next year. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Let's take some of the stress off of him next year.
Yeah.
Maybe one small turkey, maybe a hen. We could keep the ham. I think everyone loves the ham, and that's what we wanted to do anyway.
Yeah.
That's where it was.
I'm pretty excited. I mean, now that I've in 2024, I've actually learned how to fucking cook something. I told my mom I'm going to cook her something for the holiday, so that's going to be exciting.
So you are going home for Christmas, right?
Yes, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back for Christmas. I'm really, really appreciative knowing that we're going to. It's big to me. It's big to me specifically. We haven't put a tree up in at least.
Did you put a tree up in your house, in your apartment?
At least 15 years.
You put a tree up in your apartment? Why not? Put a tree up.
I was thinking of putting lights. I was thinking of putting like a wreath.
Get a little tiny tree. Put it up.
There's not gonna be anything in there.
Huh?
There's not gonna be anything underneath the
Doesn't
tree.
matter. It's decoration. Get a little tree, man.
It's too late.
It's not too late. It's December. What are you talking about?
I mean, technically, yes. It's not too late.
Just get a little tree. Get a little tree, Mark. Get a tree. Get a tree. Get a tree. A little tiny tree.
I don't think anybody's gonna be chanting. But the fun.
I promise you, our viewers and listeners will be chanting, "Get a fucking tree."
I'm gonna have some Christmas lights.
Get into the fucking spirit, man. I'm not really telling you to get like tall tree, Mark. Just have something for like. Again, have something for like when next year rolls around, you can break it out after Thanksgiving. You have a tree then. Again, you're building your cachet of decorations, bro.
Building my ambiance.
Yes, bro. Just get a little tiny little tree, have it in the little corner. I think that when you sitting here, have it in the little corner over there. And just it's a little tiny little Charlie Brown joint. You don't even gotta put presents under it. Don't be like Josh, who like bought his own presents, knew what they were, and opened them for himself.
How do you know he did that? He did that last year?
No, it was like 2 years ago. He told us on the show.
Oh, he bought his own presents.
He bought his own presents and opened them for himself on Christmas Day. Don't do it. You don't gotta do a Josh, but like get a tree. Oh, like get like little. You could get little mock presents or like get little things under there. Just get a little, or you could get like a table tree where you can just put it on your coffee table and just have it there and it lights up.
That I'd probably do. A nice little joint that I could put on my computer table.
Yeah, like a little. Just give yourself some grace and let yourself enjoy it.
That's also one thing I've learned a lot in 2024.
Well, this is an example of giving yourself some grace and getting out of your head and doing something nice and decorating your place a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to be away from it from a little bit of time, but
doesn't matter. You can take the tree down on January 10th or some shit. Like it'll be up for at least a month anyway.
Yeah. Well, it'll help get into the festive. It'll help get into the festive spirit.
Yes, man. Fucking get the pine cones. Y'all feel me. Y'all feel me out there, right? Like even when I was living by myself, I got a little tree.
You got a small little tree.
I got a little tree. I got some situated. I wish I still had it. I would give it to you. I had a little small tree. Had some lights. I had a little wreath or whatever. You could put a wreath on your door. That'd be good too.
That I wanted to wreath it. I mean, we do have our mans right here. We do have the Snoop on the stoop.
We gotta get a table for him though.
Yeah, he's a little bit alone right. He's a little bit alone right now. But this is our holiday decoration.
My youngest dog, she loves him. So whenever she comes in here, she's checking on him. But yeah, man, get you a tree, man. Target got the trees still. They probably like $20 now. Little plastic trees. You thinking I'm talking about some big ass?
I'm about to say I'm buying no $500 tree to put in this bitch.
Trees are not. What are you talking about? This is what I'm talking about, bro. This is what drives me crazy, bro. There is no tree out there that's costing $500.
Pre-lit joint.
No, the pre-lit joint that I have costed $200.
200? That's not bad.
Exactly, and it's 7 feet tall. You don't even gotta get nothing from there. You go to Home Depot and get you like a little 4-foot one and put it in your room for like $50.
And get a little regular.
Yes, and it comes pre-lit. You can get some ornaments. Like, bro, it'll pass the time for sure, and you'll be able to do something cool.
Do you get a little pine? Do you get a little pine spray and spray the tree so you get a little aroma?
We don't do that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
We already got enough. She be burning sage, but it'd be cool. Actually, it would be dope because you could get little wrestling ornaments and shit. Like you could build. It could be like an extension of your shit.
I almost bought the Shawn Michaels ugly Christmas sweater.
Boy, this is coming from a man that almost bought the Crying Jordan Christmas sweater. I'm not fucking shocked.
Have we ever told that story?
No, because the whole chat put you through a table.
Really guilted me. I thought this was the era of we listened.
It wasn't. We didn't guilt you. We bombed on your ass. It's not guilt.
Had we had the era of we listen and don't judge, I would have told niggas straight up. I want the. Was it the crying? Oh no, it's not. It wasn't dabbing Santa. Nah, it wasn't dabbing Santa.
I have a dabbing Santa one.
Yeah, you had the dabbing Santa. I wanted the Crying Jordan. The Crying Jordan ugly Christmas sweater. Who knows? Does it have as much? Does it have as much in 2024 as it would in 2018? I think people would look at that and be like, "The fuck, Crying Jordan."
Just get ornaments, bro. I think you would do a really great job decorating your little bachelor tree. I think you could bring a little shorty home. She's like, "Oh, you got a tree? Come on, man."
A little bachelor tree.
I'm giving away game. I'm giving away too much game. Listen, y'all, we're gonna be back with you guys before he's gone. We're gonna have to do like a marathon recording.
Yeah, we've got some recording to do before we end up dipping. But throwblacks,
Future Monster is coming up. Give us next week.
Mm-hmm.
Then little holiday episode. I tried to emulate the sleigh bells.
The sleigh bells. The sleigh bells.
I was doing this.
I thought you was going reincarnated. I thought you was going to get your hands up. I just wanted to see this face. You see this face? This one right here? That's what I just needed for the show.
We'll be back with you guys in a couple of days. We'll be back with you guys in a couple of days. I was trying to reenact the sleigh bells ringing.
Sleigh bells ringing?
But
it sounds like it.
It doesn't. But, I want you guys to be out. I want you guys to be safe. Thank you guys for checking us out. Of course, on Patreon, you guys are getting this early video and audio.
Mm-hmm.
But also, thank you guys for watching on YouTube as well as on Spotify, Apple, anywhere where where you can listen to streams.
Wow. After Spotify just showed our show love, told us we had 33% increase in new listeners. Shout out to the new listeners that have been listening.
That's the listeners. But listen, we love you guys so much. Thank you for listening to Overly Conversating on the Black Print Network. For Mark, I'm J5. We'll see you guys later. Happy holidays. We'll be back with you guys. Peace out.
Peace.